I wonder whether you think justice is finally coming for McCabe and others.
We do. You know, on the day that Jim Comey was fired, Peter Strzok sent a text message to Lisa Page saying, "We better get that case open we've been talking about," while Andy is the acting director of the FBI. The very next day, Andrew McCabe opens the obstruction of justice investigation into the president. That is where that investigation began. Andrew McCabe is also the very same person who took the Hillary Clinton email investigation out of the hands of the D.C. field office and put it in the hands of the senior leadership team, where politics appeared to be more at play. So central to both of those investigations, now McCabe appears to be potentially at the business end of an indictment for his false statements, where he was trying to shape the media narrative regarding how the FBI and the Department of Justice were impacting on the, were interacting on the Hillary Clinton email investigation.
But Congressman, haven't we heard this before? And so I wonder what is going to be different this time, because I bet our viewers are a bit skeptical tonight that they've heard McCabe, Comey, justice is finally coming, and yet it seems like they wiggle out of it almost every time.
Recent reporting indicates that McCabe's lawyers made their last-ditch appeal to the senior leadership of the Department of Justice to receive special or different treatment, maybe because McCabe had served at the FBI. The reporting indicates that the Department of Justice is going to apply the law equally to everyone. That means Andrew McCabe, it means the president, and I think that is the right standard. But here, the facts have Andrew McCabe dead to rights. He lied to Comey, he lied to the Inspector General, and he lied to the Internal Affairs investigators who had determined that he had authorized the release of information that disclosed the work that was being done regarding the Clinton Foundation. Very serious, and also no real dispute on those facts.
Right, and it's also alleged that McCabe then tried to throw others beneath him under the bus and blame them for the leak. So that is something that
well, beneath him and above him, which is what ripens the question you asked Andy about Jim Comey, because McCabe said, well, Comey knew about all these things. Comey disputes that, so now we've got some of the swamp creatures chewing on each other for once.
Yeah, it's interesting. Okay, so last night there was this big Democratic debate. The I word never came up, impeachment. We can get into that. But then there was this attack by Julian Castro on Joe Biden, questions about whether he went too far on age and whatnot. Mika Brzezinski had an interesting take this morning on all of that. I want to get your reaction.
There was a lot of incredible moments, Joe, including, well, I think a real low blow. I'm going to have to say it was Matt Gaetz level. Castro versus Biden, and Castro really went after the former vice president.
MSNBC says you take the low road, sir.
Oh, well, you know, I guess it wasn't really Matt Gaetz level because it wasn't all that interesting, entertaining, or effective. It was probably more Mika Brzezinski level because most people are panning it today, and that seemed to be how audience react to her show on that other network. They seem to be doing pretty bad in the ratings if you're not in the Acela corridor or if you're not on one of the coastal areas, so maybe they got to try to gin up a fight with me, but I'm focused on serving the folks in Florida's 1st Congressional District, which, by the way, Joe Scarborough used to represent.
Oh, there you go. Last question. I mentioned the I word, didn't come up last night. What do you make of that when your Democratic colleagues in the House, they seem to be pushing full speed ahead this week to try and impeach the president when even the 2020 Democrats don't want to go there?
Math is pretty simple. A recent Monmouth University poll showed that still 6 out of every 10 Americans oppose impeachment. So if 60% of the country is against something, it's probably pretty bad politics for somebody who wants to be president of the United States. But I fear that my House Democrat colleagues, they have really lurched so far to the left. They've become so captive to voices like Mika Brzezinski and Joe Scarborough that they are taking poisonous political candy in the form of an impeachment inquiry.
Right, we don't want to take a poll in the Acela corridor. You might not be popular there, Congressman, but maybe in Florida you are. Have a good weekend. We appreciate you coming in.
Thank you. You'll be popular everywhere, Ed.
All right, I appreciate that.